Hi everyone and welcome back to SanaA's garden. I hope you all are doing great and staying safe. So in this video I am planting some daffodils and tulips in a layered planting or a lasagna planting. I picked up this bag of daffodils from a grocery store. I really like this because it has 3 to 4 types of daffodil flowers in a single bag, and I also picked up these tulips from Wilco. These are a fringed crystal star, and I'll be planting them in these terracotta pots. The pots I'm using here are the terracotta pot which I purchased from B&Q, and these are 27 centimeter wide. The name of this pot is LILIES terracotta pot. You can get them at any of your local B&Q stores or online. This is just for a representation as to how big of the pot is and how many bulbs I'm using and how they perform. So firstly, I have filled up about 1/3 of the container with multi-purpose compost. So coming to our daffodil bulbs, I'm using these mixed daffodil bulbs. I think there are about 40 of them in here, and I have 10 tulip bulbs. Although I have only 2 types of bulbs here, the reason why I'm planting them in a layered or the lasagna way is because the daffodils that I have are at least 3 to 4 types of flowers. And one thing I noticed is that all the bulbs are different in sizes. Like a few of them were really small and a few of them were really big and tall. So I kind of guessed that they might have a different flowering time as well, depending upon the size of the bulb. So I'm just separating all these types of bulbs that look similar to me. I could see that the bulbs are different from each other in size and shape, so I just wanted to have an equal division of similar looking bulbs for both my pots. So planting the tulips and daffodils is really simple. You can plant them at any time in the fall after the temperatures start to drop, or after you feel the first chill in September. So anytime from September to November is fine. I planted them in, I think, a late November. If you're planting them in ground, pick a spot where you can get a full sun or partial sun at least, and the ground must be well draining. And if you're planting in pots, use a fluffy and rich potting mix or any multi-purpose compost will work. Plant the daffodils at least 3 to 6 inches deep and 4 to 5 inches apart, but I'm planting them much closer, and I'm planting them in a layered manner because I want the blooms in these pots for a prolonged period of time. So starting in the spring up until the middle or even the late spring, I will be having flowers in this container, which is awesome. In the bottom layer I put the largest bulbs, and in the second layer I placed my tulip bulbs, and I'm using 5 in each pot as I had 10 tulip bulbs. And I also put the medium sized looking daffodil bulbs along with the tulips, and then covered it with a layer of compost. I know it looks really crowded, but it might be quite a lot of bulbs for one pot. So we're looking at around, say, 25 bulbs per pot. It would be interesting to see how all these bulbs perform in a single pot. The first thought that comes to my mind is that they will compete for space, but I think the compost is really fresh and full of nutrients and everything in it, so they should do good. Once my final layer of bulbs is planted, I have packed the compost really well on top, and I'm using this bulb planting compost which I had picked up while planting my ASIATIC lilies, so I used this as well. One pot is done and I'm planting my second pot, and I'm doing it the exact same manner as the first pot. So after planting the bulbs, I watered these pots thoroughly for the first time, and I kept these pots in a shaded area, actually just in front of my patio door, so I can monitor them every day because I had a squirrel problem. The squirrels already had ate a lot of my bulbs from my bulb lasagna. So I put all of my bulb containers just right in front of my patio door, so I can see every day what is happening to them. Once you start to see the green growth or the shoots coming up, you can move them into the sunny area if you have planted them in containers. And if you live in a really wet climate, you do not need to water your pots during the winter. The water from rain or snow is just enough to keep the bulbs moist. And if you live in a really dry climate, keep checking on your pots every few days. And if the soil feels really dry to touch, you can water them. I did not water any of my bulb pots during the winter. The rain and snow was more than enough to keep the bulbs moist all along the winter months. We had a really cold winter this year and we got some snow, and we had a couple of weeks of below freezing temperatures in February, and the pots were frozen solid, and I was kind of scared that I might lose the bulbs, but they were fine. And I also had put the chicken wire on top of the containers to stop the squirrels from digging up, but yeah, they were okay. And once I started to see the shoots, I removed the chicken wire from the containers. They look pretty good. So it's almost spring now, and the daffodils are almost getting ready to bloom, and I'm excited to see some color in the garden. And once I see the blooms, I shall be posting monthly updates at least, so stay connected. So that's it for this video. I hope you all really enjoyed watching this video and got some tips from it, and I hope that this video inspired you to get something done in your garden today. Thanks for watching. Bye.